Hi, everyone. We are now joined by LA Galaxy head coach Greg Vanney. We will start with a question from Scott French. Scott, go ahead.
Hi, Greg.
Scott, how are you?
Wanted to get your thoughts on playing a brand new team, playing its first game in its home stadium, and also what you saw in their team in their first game and your impression of them.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic just for the game, for a new franchise to come into our league and have 75,000 people show up to the first one. Clearly, there's going to be a lot of emotion involved, both for their fans and for their team, and for us, it's about managing that emotion and the excitement that they're going to have at the beginning, for sure, and allowing the game an opportunity to kind of settle in. At the end of the day, it becomes a soccer game at some point, but for sure, at the beginning, there's a lot of there's emotion, there's anxiousness, there's probably a lot of extra energy at the beginning. So it's again to manage the environment, to manage the situation, and a team that obviously can be dangerous. When I watched their game back, I think they were a little unlucky in DC. I thought they were organized. They obviously want the ball. They want to play with the ball. They're not afraid to play through some pressure. They have good ideas. And they were a little unfortunate in terms of the timing of the goals, and they were a bit of against the run of play for me, just the way the goals came about. So clearly I think a team we have to, like all teams in our league, every team is difficult to play against, every game is tough, we have to respect it, and we have to perform, and we have to handle the whole environment the right way.
It's also a game on artificial turf. Of course, you play some games on artificial turf in this league, but that's never the best situation.
Yeah, 3 of our next 4 are on turf, so we got to deal with it. It is what it is, but I think we got to play the conditions. That's part of the conditions is the turf. I think for us, we'd like to keep the ball on the turf as much as possible and keep it moving as quickly as possible. And and it is what it is. It shouldn't change the way we play. We just have to be aware of it and play it as it is.
Thank you, Greg.
Yep, thanks, Scott.
We'll go with Josh Geslin.
Hey, Greg, how's it going?
All right, Josh, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. A couple questions. I want to know injury update on Derek and whether or not you anticipate he'll be either available selection or travel with you to Charlotte. And then also looking at Julian Araujo and that incident in the 32nd minute from the last game. Has MLS given you any indication that they're looking at that? Do you expect Julian to be with you over the weekend?
First, Derek will travel with us, and he'll be available for selection. Second, Julian, no indication of anything to come off of that, so he will be with us.
All right, perfect. And then I guess just to sort of look at what you've seen over this last week or just the last couple of days, it hasn't even been that long, but do you feel like Douglas Costa settling in a little bit more? We saw a little bit from him on Sunday, obviously. Do you feel like he's really starting to fit into this team?
Yeah, I do. I think with it was his first match, first time in the stadium, the environment, it's managing a little bit of those things. Collectively, just kind of, again, connecting with the guys and understanding. I think, for us as a group, it was maybe not our best day with the ball. We had some moments, but I think, there are some things we've talked this week about clearing up, which will both help him. And I think ultimately for him it's repeatability. It's getting his legs under him, being able to play at the speed and the capacity that he wants to and that he's capable of and that the game demands for 90 minutes, and being able to repeat the things that he's capable of doing. So he keeps building upon that every day that we have a chance to get on the field. He's improving in his fitness and working through that. And I'm starting to see good relationships and connections on the field with him. It's for us also to understand ways that we can create space for him, create advantageous situations, give him the scenarios that are going to best suit him to help him create opportunities for us or for himself. And so those things are evolving with this group as we continue to work from session to session, week to week. So I suspect that it'll be better. We'll see how they come out to play. They've shown a couple different ways of playing, and for us will be to kind of assess what that looks like and have the right solutions for not just for Douglas, but for everybody.
Perfect. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Damien.
Hey, Greg. How you doing?
Great, Damien. How are you?
Good. Just want to touch again on Raheem Edwards. He said Sunday that this is his first time he's had to focus at left back being his number one position. What led you to sort of first to bring him in, and then also to have him sort of shift back to the back line?
For one, he's a very good soccer player. He's obviously he's been maybe at times a little more of an attacker through his career as a winger, as a wing back, as an 8. I think he has all the capacities to be a fullback. It's just about an attention to detail and an understanding of just positional responsibilities. He's engaged. It's something he wants to do. It's a conversation that we had when he was still a free agent about his willingness and desire to become that player, to become a fullback, to understand and to dive into all the nuances that it takes to be great at that. He wants to be a master of something and not kind of a jack of all trades, and to be that with our group and in our environment. And I think it gives him an opportunity even to maybe grow into a national team picture for a team like Canada is to really start to understand those nuances. But his soccer ability, his ability to get us off the sideline, to get out of trouble, to create attacks, to do all of those things is of a high level. So now I think, again, for him, it's focusing on being a master at something, and that is going to be, as a left back. There's some moments through the game that he's seeing that we showed him, just in terms of his recognition of where he is positionally, things like that he just needs to continue to be attentive on and focused on, and he will, and he'll keep building. But he's got a lot of capacity. For us, we knew we needed someone there, because obviously Jorge ended the season last year with the knee contusion that lasted for a long time, and Jorge's still working back to his full 100% mobility and capacity, and so we knew we needed somebody there. We didn't have a lot of international spots. Raheem is a fantastic player that I'm really happy that he felt like we were a good spot for him, so it all kind of fit together, and his desire to want to be great at that is what tied it all together.
And this late, he's been in the league almost, several years, but you really don't get players that want to make a change this late in their career, do you?
Yeah, you find players who have had a certain level of success, but maybe haven't broken in to be the everyday guy in a specific role. But guys who've had their, to that point, some level of success, have shown a capacity to be excellent at certain things within the game, but maybe haven't just locked down a spot that has been theirs year in and year out. And so Ra was kind of in that space. He had moved from a couple different teams. Like I said, he had played a couple different roles. Even last year, he played sometimes inside as an 8 and sometimes wide as a wing back. And so you see a player with capacity and a desire to be something, a master of something, and like I said, and not a jack of all trades, then that's an opportunity. Again, I've had a player like that, Richie Larea, a couple of years ago, who has similar capacities, was fantastic and slippery with the ball. He was always a central midfielder and attacking midfielder, and he wanted to become something different to change his career, and he bought into being a right back, and it's kind of the same trajectory that Ra has, the same mentality that Ra has, and similar capacities. And so it's just about the learning and committing every day to improving on the details of that.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
We'll go with Andy Diosa. Andy, go ahead.
Hey Greg, how you doing?
Great, thank you.
Greg, you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but I just wanted to know, you've obviously seen the league grow and seen it from all different facets, and the fact that Charlotte has these big aspirations for attendance this week. I just wanted to know what your thoughts were on how much that proves that, the league is growing, it's going in the right direction, and how much fans have really bought into it, not even just in Charlotte, but around the country.
Yeah, the growth of this league over the years it's staggering, really. When you see, we're still a pretty young league at 26 years older roughly, and just the addition of the sheer quantity of cities that have been added into the league, in addition to the cities that want MLS franchises, shows you both the success of the league, but also just the growth of the sport and the interest in the sport. And North Carolina I grew up in Virginia. I have family that's in the southern part of Virginia, not very far from the Raleigh-Durham area, and it's a hotbed. There's been talented players there. Soccer's been a big deal. You have the ACC. You have 3 fantastic universities all within each other in that area, and it's a sports town. And so it's really not surprising that soccer is such a hit there, and the fans have wanted it. They've obviously backed ownership and helping to bring that franchise there, and now they're backing it because their season tickets are super high, and the first game is the culmination of a lot of excitement and a lot of work by many people to help bring that franchise to North Carolina. So it's exciting. Again, a lot of eyes will be on that game just because it's their first, and the sheer capacity or the sheer quantity of fans that are going to be at the game. It'll be a spectacle, and again, important for us. From just all of that is irrelevant outside of what's happening outside of the field. It's to be able to stay focused on the job and the task at hand, and be able to manage what is a team that is going to be very excited and have a lot of, like I said, emotion wrapped up into trying to get a result in this match.
We'll go with Felipe Cardenas next.
Hi, Greg. Felipe Cardenas with The Athletic. How are you?
All right, Felipe, thanks.
Thank you. You mentioned positional responsibility in regards to Raheem Edwards. I'd like to ask you something similar about Kevin Cabral and Julian as well. Mm-hmm. What do you believe, or what do you expect their evolution to be this season, as far as how they play their positions, the way you want them to improve, what they're doing well, but essentially this season, where should they be by season's end?
Yeah, fair question. Again, they're young guys that are growing. For me, Jules grew a lot last year in defensive awareness, in some of his understanding of things positionally. Game reading was better. Jules needs to take another step forward, and that he is an intense competitor. He has incredible physical attributes. For him is to now play the game, in my opinion, just to play the game a little bit more positionally aware, a little bit more proactive and anticipating in terms of game reading. It's understanding when he should be wide versus when he should be closing off space on the inside, when to break and make a run forward to even open up space for Douglas Costa to get the ball, or to arrive into an attack as a secondary attacker. We've seen when he does get into those final actions, his final product has improved and continues to improve. So again, it's a lot of it comes with recognition of scenarios, game reading, timing, things like that we can continue to evolve him. And because he, again, everything else is there: his desire, his capacity, his intensity, his physical attributes. And so it's nuance, and like I talked about with Raw, it's a little bit different with Jules. He's had a little bit more experience, but it's still nuance in the position, and recognizing what the team needs at any given moment, and being able to deliver that, and not relying sometimes on his sheer physical capacity to make up maybe for a missed moment or a misread. It's to be able to have that whole side just under control for 90 minutes, and that's what we're shooting for with Jules, and he's an eager learner, just like we talked about with Raw. And so it's a process, but it's about staying engaged and locked in, and for every single second of the game, and being able to apply the necessary response to all of those moments. So he's progressing at that, and I suspect he'll have another year of growth from that side of things. For Kevin, again, I think Kevin's actually very clever about his positioning and his running and his timing, and so for me, the growth side for Kevin is just, it's really in final product, and sometimes it's continuing to mature on the physical side. So he has, he's a little more brave with what his physical side is, in terms of just the duel, or holding up a ball, or sometimes using his body to shield off a player to win himself time to put the ball in the right spot. And it's the final product. It's when he gets into these great areas that he's so capable of getting to because of his physical attributes and the timing of his running. It's just to have a higher percentage of quality at the end. It's the finish, it's the cross, it's those things. And for him, it's really repetition. It's just, some of the things technically we want to have him adapt. Maybe instead of using this technique, he should use that in that scenario, and just helping him understand that, and then get the repetition of that. And then in the moment, obviously, it comes down to having sort of the composure in the moment to execute on what you need. Again, a lot of that comes with repetition. So our goal last year was to integrate these guys, to set up a game model, for have guys kind of understand what their roles and responsibilities were in the team. This year, our goal with these guys is to really give them what they need from an individual standpoint, from a repetition standpoint. So I don't need to teach Kevin too much more about what our game model is. What I need to do and what our group needs to do is give him as much repetition in those scenarios where he can be successful in the final product. And he'll continue to grow at that. We've seen that all around the league. Tati Castellanos over the last few years has gotten better and better around the goal and has produced more goals from where he was when he arrived and to where he is now. Kevin will do the same. He'll continue to improve, and he will become a guy who is consistently goal dangerous and final action dangerous. No doubt about it.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks.
We have one last one with Gio Garcia. Gio, go ahead. Actually, I think Gio has popped off. Greg, thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thanks everyone.
We'll start with the first question in English with Damian Calhoun. Damian, go ahead.
Recording in progress.
Hey, Javier, how you doing?
Hey, man, good, and you?
Good. Just want to get your quick thoughts. Looking back at the game on Sunday, what areas you think this attack really needs to hone in on in training this week going forward into this weekend's game?
I think that's a question for Greg, you know. I mean, I'm going to just go training, and whatever Greg is going to tell us we need to improve and we need to do better, we're going to do it in every training, you know. I mean, I'm a soccer player, I can have opinions, visualizations and stuff, but for me, I mean, we won a pretty tough match. We need to give credit as well to the opponent. No, everything is not going to be perfect. So, I mean, there's plenty of things that we need to improve, and we're going to keep working so hard to develop and to prove it inside the pitch. You know, but I think definitely in tactics and all kind of stuff. I think Greg will have the correct answer for that question.
And then working Douglas another week. You expect him to be a little bit more comfortable this week going forward here?
I mean, time is going to help him a lot. You know, time is going to help him in his adaptation for sure. I think that's what he needs. You know, more trainings, more games, more time, more rhythm, and everything of that. We're going to help him, like I said it after the match, you know, in the press conference as well. We're going to help him so he can bring his best, and he can help us, and he can be a very key player for us.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll go with Scott French next. Scott.
Hey, Javi. I'd like to get your thoughts on playing a brand new team in their first game in front of home fans. What that's going to be like, and I guess how you put it out of your minds that it's going on with the kind of support that we can expect they're going to have.
I mean, we're gonna do it. We're gonna go and expect a complicated team, you know, like everyone else, and all the teams in this league, no? Regardless if they are new or not, we're going to respect them so much, and we're going to expect that they're going to fight for their lives, and it's going to be so tough to go over there in a turf field against on the road, you know, away. So I think they're going to support them pretty well. That city, it's happy and it's very excited that this moment came to them, you know, that they can go and support their team, the new team. So I think it's going to be so tough, and we're not going to expect nothing less.
Wonderful. Thank you, Javi.
You're welcome.
We'll go with Andy Diosa with Yahoo next. Andy, go ahead.
Hey, Javi, how you doing?
Hey, man. Good, thanks.
Just a little bit to add on to Scott's question. Charlotte has big aspirations. They're saying over hopefully 70,000. And you've obviously played in stadiums and around the world that are huge. I just want to know your thoughts on an MLS team being able to put that many fans in the stadium and the spectacle, what it means for the game and for the league as a whole.
It's huge, man. You know, as much fans in this country start to follow this sport called soccer, it's going to be amazing, you know, and bigger stadiums, more crowds, more people, more fans, is going to be amazing. Obviously, it's everything that is going to add up so much in positive. It's going to be welcome, you know, in this league, and I think that's going to help a lot this league to keep improving like those type of teams. And even if the stadiums could be that big or not, the situation as they are full, they are packed, and they are very happy to go and support their teams and watching good performances of both teams.
We'll go with Doug McIntyre with Fox. Doug, go ahead.
Thanks, Vicky. Javier, thanks for doing this. Just to follow up on the question about Douglas Costa, it takes time to adapt to MLS. It's a different league. There's the travel, different fields, as you mentioned, all those things. What have you told him and about what it takes to adjust to MLS? What's the hardest part of adjusting to MLS when you're coming from Europe? Thank you.
Be patient, because it takes time. Sometimes people are expecting that since day one and the first second you're gonna prove everything, and that's very rare. That happen in life, even in any job. It takes time. So be patient is the most complicated thing, because sometimes if you listen to the sounds and to everything that is outside yourself and you believe in that, it's going to even create more desperation, more frustration, and that kind of stuff. So I think patience is the key, not only in this league, in every league in the world, and in every job. That everything takes time. Good things takes time, and you need to keep investing day by day. So then afterwards you can enjoy the results.
We'll go with Josh Geslin.
Hey, Alvy, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it. I know you sort of talked about it, but I wanted to know, going back in your mind, you played at some unbelievable places with tons of people and in different crowds. Does it affect you whenever you're playing against a stadium that's against you like that? Does it add to the excitement? I know you've kind of touched on it, but what mentally does that take from a team?
I mean, in every situation, if I'm at home with my crowd, or I'm away against all the crowd, I try just to receive everything as an energy, and it's on me how I'm going to receive it, how I'm going to transform all of that. If it's going to be like gasoline for my motivation, or it's going to be some more pressure to my doubts or self-esteem. So I think it's in any way that everyone wants to take it from. It's amazing, it's unbelievable, because everything else is extra. The most important situation is I'm going to be in a field, even that is turf, that is natural, against a very tough opponent, and I'm going to do what I love most, that is playing soccer.
Perfect. Thanks, Javi.
We'll do one last one in English with Sophie. Sophie, go ahead.
Hi, Javier. I hope you're having a good day.
Thank you too.
It's really great to see you, because in terms of every time and the new season comes, you seem happier and happier, not only maybe within yourself but also with your football. Can you talk to me a little bit about that? And it seems like you're really in a place where maybe this is your time and this is your moment in LA.
You know what, the message, and thank you for the question, the message for me that I want to send over there is like, today is the time from you for everyone else. It's the only thing that we have, the present. So of course that I know where you're coming, your question, and there are things that I cannot enter in very big details, but the thing is, when you take responsibility of your life, when you can realize that you are not only responsible of yourself, that you're responsible of your reality, I think that's a breakthrough in your life. When you go deep, love yourself, start getting that responsibility, and start accepting all the things that are not great about you, your shadow, those situations that sometimes you look at your mirror and the personality that you don't love, but you accept them and you control all of that, and you try to not hurt people, and you try to start living in the moment, living in the present, living with that consciousness about yourself, about how you're feeling, about what you're doing, about why you are doing, questioning your ideas, questioning yourself, your reality. Yeah, it sounds very philosophical, but that's what it made me feel and find out was the best thing out of this life. Because what I realized is, if I have even a little bit of my happiness, put it in the something superficial and external, then when that thing is not there, I'm not going to be happy. So I'm not going to be fulfilled. Not even happy, fulfilled. Because happy, I think, is an emotion. So emotions are there. But when you feel fulfilled, that you can be sad, but you can be fulfilled. If you can be angry, but you'll be fulfilled. When you try to fulfill those emptiness that you sometimes feel with self-love, with love around yourself, with living your dreams, however everyone wants to do it, I think that's the main thing about all of this. So for me, it's just I've been questioning everything, and I just trying to find myself that everything comes from the inside to the outside, not the other way around. Then society sometimes teach you that you need to get everything outside of yourself so you can feed yourself, that you can love yourself, and it's completely the opposite.
Gracias, Javi. Ahora cambiaremos a las preguntas en español. Empezamos con Katia Castorena de ESPN. Katia, adelante.
Gracias, Vicky. Javier, gusto saludarte. Dos preguntas. La primera, lo hablabas un poco en inglés, pero ¿cómo visualizas el partido contra Charlotte, equipo nuevo, que se esperan más de 70,000 aficionados? Cierto, serán el equipo visitante, pero a la vez en Charlotte, quizá lo has vivido con selección, hay una gran comunidad también mexicana que seguro estará allí para verte y apoyarte. Y la segunda pregunta, ya se anuncia que un compatriota y un jugador de la calidad de Héctor Herrera va a venir a MLS. ¿Qué significa que cada vez más jugadores de esa calidad estén optando por venir a Major League Soccer?
Pues primero que nada, el partido de Charlotte va a estar muy interesante, muy bonito, que también la inauguración para ellos en su campo, o sea, con nosotros, perdón, y con tanta gente, como lo dije ahorita en inglés, va a ser algo muy bonito y siempre se agradece muchísimo estar en lugares donde hay muchísimo aficionado y te apoyen o no te apoyen. Es muy bonito siempre jugar partidos donde hay muchísima gente, donde están estadios llenos y poder hacer lo que más amas, que es jugar fútbol. Entonces va a ser un partido muy bonito, pero muy complicado. No esperamos nada menos que eso, ¿no? Que un primer equipo que va a debutar en esta liga en su casa, y el cual van a dejarlo todo y van a querer obviamente llegar hasta lo más alto, o sea, en cualquier partido. Y de lo de Héctor, yo estoy feliz, yo estoy muy feliz obviamente porque creo que la gente toma muchas decisiones conforme a lo que ellos decidan, y yo estoy feliz porque si él tomó esa decisión de venir para acá es porque él creyó que era lo más importante para él, para su vida, su familia, su futuro. Entonces estoy muy contento, es un jugadorazo, va a venir a ayudar muchísimo a la liga y obviamente va a ser muy complicado cuando lo enfrentemos ahora a los Houston Dynamo, ya sea en nuestra casa o en su casa, porque adquieren a un jugador muy importante como también Toronto con Salcedo, y puedo hablar de muchísimos otros mexicanos que han estado aquí o que están aquí en la liga y también de otras nacionalidades aquí. Todo futbolista que tenga un gran talento y que tenga una gran disposición para que venga a ayudar a la liga va a ser más que bienvenido y va a ser muy bonito enfrentar a jugadores de ese nivel.
Gracias.
De nada.
Vamos con Felipe Cárdenas de The Athletic.
Gracias. Javier, ¿qué tal? Felipe Cárdenas.
¿Qué onda?
Muchísimo gusto, gracias.
Gracias, mucho gusto.
Mira, lo que le dijiste a Sofi, una cosa que tú siempre has sido muy transparente y eso es algo que agradecemos muchísimo acá. Entonces la pregunta es si cuando tú piensas en tu carrera internacional, ¿estás satisfecho ya con esa carrera tan impresionante que has tenido de 3 mundiales, todas las convocatorias, los goles, o pensás y visualizás un 4º mundial con México y lo que podría hacer eso para ti personalmente?
Yo, mira, en mi vida al fin de cuentas siempre volteo y veo el pasado como lecciones y decisiones que uno puede estar tomando y vivencias que pudo haber vivido para sacarle el mayor provecho posible en tu vida. Déjate tú, si sea en el trabajo, sea donde sea, ¿no? Como hijo, como hermano, como pareja, como padre, como abuelo, gente que pueda escuchar que ya sea mayor, etcétera, como amigo, como lo que sea, ¿no? Yo creo que siempre es muy bonito voltar atrás y no quedarte ahí atorado, pero siempre verlo de tu camino y que de verdad puedas tomar todo, que son lecciones, solamente que son lecciones que a veces son muy agradables, son lecciones que no son tan agradables, y así es la vida, es lo hermoso de la vida, que puedes aprender cada día de ti mismo, también hoy en el presente, como lo dije en una pregunta en inglés, es lo más importante y es lo más bonito que tenemos, y ya de ahí tenemos cada uno nuestras guías, nuestros sueños, que imaginamos cosas chingonas, como siempre lo dije, esa frase que se hizo tan famosa, cada uno tiene en su mente lo que le gustaría lograr en un futuro, ¿no? Pero aquí lo más importante es estar en el presente, estar disfrutando tu vida en el día a día, porque a veces creemos que garantizamos que tenemos un día más y lo que no sabemos es que tenemos un día menos cada vez que amanecemos. Entonces, ¿qué estamos haciendo al respecto de eso? Y yo la verdad que estoy disfrutando mi presente, disfrutando mi vida, disfrutando todo, empujándome a ser una mejor versión de mí mismo humanamente y también profesionalmente, que es lo único que tengo ahorita en mi cabeza.
Pero cuando entraste a esta pretemporada, ¿pensaste en el mundial? Como que eso es una motivación, me imagino que sí, para un
yo pienso en absolutamente todo, en cosas muy grandes, en cosas muy importantes que sean para mí, para mi vida, ya sea en selección, no sea en selección, sea haciendo goles, sea no haciendo goles, sea como padre, sea como te lo digo, como todo. Yo siempre me despierto y trato de ser de una mejor versión de mí mismo, trato de disfrutar la vida al día a día, recibir lo que venga para tratar de yo ser una mejor persona, porque yo sé que al fin de cuentas todo se está generando para yo poder aprender y para seguir conociéndome día a día.
Gracias.
Vamos con Fernando Ceballos. Adelante.
Hola, Javier. Oye, preguntarte, el otro día teníamos la oportunidad de hablar con André Pierre Guignac y decía que le daría mucho gusto verte en la selección, que ojalá tú y el Tata pudieran, si es que es necesario, hablar. A él le pasó alguna vez y que si hay alguna diferencia la arreglaran por el bien de México. ¿Has buscado al Tata? ¿Estarías dispuesto a hablar con él si es que hubiera algo? o crees que no estar en la selección y quedarte sin mundial pudiera ser parecido a lo que le pasó a Cuauhtémoc en el 2006 por el gran momento que estás viviendo, Javier?
Siempre esas preguntas las voy a responder como siempre. Yo soy un jugador de fútbol, voy a tratar de hacerlo de la mejor manera para que se me tome en cuenta, como siempre me enseñó mi abuelo y siempre me enseñó mi padre, cómo ser un seleccionado nacional. Yo seguiré trabajando, yo seguiré haciendo mis esfuerzos, mi trabajo aquí en el legal, así que es lo más importante, lo que tengo en mente, que es ser campeón aquí, que no lo tengo. No piense nada más día a día, despertarme, tratar de ganar puntos. Y yo sé que todo lo que puedas hacer dentro de tu club, si sobresales, si lo haces de la mejor manera, ya mundialmente es una herramienta para poder estar considerado para estar en selección o no. Ya después son decisiones que uno no es el entrenador, pero yo estoy en mente 100% en que quiero hacerlo de la mejor manera, quiero seguir aprendiendo, quiero seguir dándole mucho a esta profesión tan hermosa que tanto me ha dado. Y de los comentarios de Guiñac, él y yo nos escribimos a veces ahí en Instagram, tenemos contacto, siempre agradecerle que sabemos lo que él representa, no nada más para Tigres, sino para nuestro país, como él ha estado con brazos abiertos a nuestro país, ha amado a nuestro país, él se siente un mexicano más, y siempre comentarios que vengan de un jugador, más allá de que sea talentoso o no, con una calidad humana tan importante, siempre es muy bonito y se le agradece, y por algo le va tan bien en la vida, porque creo que es un crack dentro y fuera de la cancha.
Tenemos una última en español con Diana Alvarado de Univisión. De adelante.
Gracias, Vicky. Javier, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, gracias.
Creo que estamos viviendo una temporada histórica con la presencia de mexicanos en la liga. Estamos contando por ahí 20, ya con la llegada de Héctor, pues uno más. ¿Tú crees, con la comunicación que tienes con algunos jugadores mexicanos, que ellos están pensando ahora más en la MLS como un destino en lugar de buscar un sueño?
No lo sé. Discúlpame, es que no sé, pero me estoy riendo no mal, te lo juro, y espero que no esté faltando el respeto, es que no lo sé, o sea, no lo sé. Yo puedo platicar con amigos, puedo platicar con gente, no lo sé. Yo siempre lo único que quiero para esta liga, especialmente, y también mi liga mexicana, cuando digo mi liga es que soy mexicano, al fin de cuentas yo ahí debuté, y las ligas que he estado siempre es como agradecimiento, siempre se le desea lo mejor a cualquier liga, se le desea a cualquier persona que le tienes cariño, que le tienes estima, y esta liga que me ha recibido de esta manera, yo lo único que quiero es que crezca. Entonces, si son millones de mexicanos jugando en esta liga, para crecer, bienvenidos sea, si sean de otras nacionalidades, si sea más balanceada, si sea que también los jugadores americanos que salen de aquí en las fuerzas básicas o de la nacionalidad que sea, aquí yo lo único que quiero es que la liga vaya creciendo, que siga con ese crecimiento exponencial que han tenido durante 28 años. Entonces, no lo sé si sea o si no, porque cada uno, no importa si eres mexicano o no eres mexicano, somos humanos antes que nada, y cada uno va a tratar de tomar las decisiones que sean beneficiosas, y se dice, creo que sí, o que con más cosas positivas, ajá, exacto, gracias, para su vida, lo que sea mejor para lo que ellos deseen en ese momento, y para lo que ellos crean que en ese momento sea lo mejor, o lo que quieran disfrutar, o lo que quieran vivir, o lo que quieran experimentar. Entonces, a fin de cuentas, yo a todo humano, sea mexicano, sea americano, sea de donde sea, yo lo único que le deseo es de que tomen las decisiones que más los hagan felices, que se conozcan, que se empujen, y sea lo que sea, que no seamos enjuiciosos, que si se vienen a esta liga, que no se vienen a esta liga, que si van a Europa, que si no van a Europa, que se quedan en México, que no se queden en México, en Latinoamérica, o donde sea, que cada cabeza es un mundo y hay que respetar, y no hay que juzgar también a muchísima gente por lo que hace, porque a veces creemos que es más fácil señalar a la gente por lo que ellos hacen, en vez de cada uno ver en su vida cómo le está yendo, cómo está durmiendo, cómo está despertando y cómo lleva su vida día a día.
Gracias.